A linesman who tackles the player, Mourinho who completely loses it because of this referee decision, and 3 huge mistakes by the referee in one game. Here are 30 moments when referees completely failed. For example, here in Australia.
And now Hall looking for Montagno, who's going to have a tap-in. It's going to be 2-0 to the Newcastle Jets. Oh, hang on a minute. How on earth has he given offside there?
The player is nowhere near offside. And here too, in this amateur game, the ref looked really bad. Yeah, the goal stood. And there's more. Like, why did Mourinho insult the referee in the parking lot?
It's a fucking disgrace, man.
It isn't easy being a referee. You get insulted, mocked, but in moments like these, it's important to stay cool. Something this referee in Kuwait didn't really manage. Then there were 2 red cards for the team, and the scene still wasn't over, because during the kickoff, this happened. The player showed his frustration and shot the ball at the referee, who then gave a 3rd red card. This scene from the Danish league was crazy too. There was a goal here that should never have counted. The players don't react because they think, hey, it's a goal kick since the ball was clearly out, but the referee actually gave the goal despite the protests. I mean, there's nothing to discuss here. What a mistake. And now to a funny scene from England. What was going on with the linesman here? He said afterwards he wanted to stop the game because the referee had whistled for a foul earlier, but still a bizarre action. And now to a scene that made all of Nigeria angry. World Cup 2018, the last group game between Argentina and Nigeria. The winner advances to the next round. The VAR intervened, but there was no handball penalty because, hey, they said no clear and obvious error. A highly controversial decision.
I've seen penalties given for less than that. We've got VAR there for a reason.
This is the defender's mistake.
Our number 24, which made Guardiola react like this.
Free kick was taken before City.
Arsenal versus Man City. The 2 captains, Saka and Walker, were talking to the referee, but he didn't allow enough time for Walker to run back to his position, and what had to happen, happened.
Set after that, but anyway, it is Martinelli in the area, and it's in by Calafiori who scored, and it's 1-1.
Mourinho wasn't exactly happy about this decision either, which then totally escalated during a friendly match.
Borja, but that's not a bad effort.
That looks very much like a handball, but the referee gave the goal. Roma complained and Captain Pellegrini got sent off with a 2nd yellow, whereupon Mourinho stormed onto the pitch.
Very popular with the home fans, it's not very popular with Mourinho.
And like I said, this was in a friendly during a preseason match. Not the only time we'll see Mourinho angry. And this scene also made Monaco fans shake their heads. Player Al Musrati says, hey, that has to be a yellow. And there was one for him because he told the ref it should be a yellow. And since it was a 2nd, he had to go off with a yellow-red. Yeah, I mean, according to the rulebook, you can give a yellow card for that. But honestly, as a referee, I'd expect a bit feel for the game here. I tell the player, don't complain, otherwise I have to give you a yellow. But to react like this in a Champions League game, for me, not good. But now, back to a really blatant mistake. Offside. The problem, if the player is in his own half, there is no offside. That would have been a huge chance for Chelsea. Our number 20, a decision that nobody could really understand.
Liverpool win it back. McAllister.
An extremely hard challenge from the Everton player. There was a yellow, but the video assistant referee got involved. And when everyone saw the images, everyone knew this could have been a serious injury. Everyone expected a red, but it didn't come, which made Slot laugh sarcastically. Sometimes refs are just awkwardly in the way. That isn't a failure in itself, but it looks silly and annoys some players. But look here, Messi at least solved the situation creatively. Messi is using the referee as a shield. In the next scene, however, the ref was also in the way and knocked over the player. He took it with humor and gave the ref a yellow card. But there was nothing to laugh about here. It looked like the linesman struck on purpose.
Dakis clashing here with Andy Robertson.
The Liverpool player seems to grab him by the arm, but what happens next cannot happen to a ref. He was suspended for it, but came back in 2025. Uruguay versus Ghana. The two nations don't like each other much, especially since 2010, when Suarez deliberately cleared the ball with his hand. There was a penalty, but Ghana missed and got kicked out of the tournament. In this 2022 game, Uruguay absolutely had to win by 3 goals. It's already 2-0 and we're in stoppage time. For the BBC experts, a clear foul, but the video assistant couldn't find a clear and obvious error by the referee, so there was no penalty. And Uruguay were 1 goal short of the next round and thus got kicked out, which the players weren't too happy about. But now to the moment that made Mourinho flip out. Europe League Final 2023. Roma versus Sevilla. A difficult game for the ref, who was criticized for some of his decisions, like this one. That looks very much like handball, but the refereeing team decided against it. In the end, Roma lost the final, whereupon Mourinho insulted the referee in the parking lot.
It's a fucking disgrace, man.
But what's absolutely not okay is how the Roma fans attacked the referee at the airport. In this scene too, the fans couldn't understand the decision. When Bellingham was still at Dortmund, it was against City in the Champions League.
Ederson, he's lost it! He's lost it!
That's not a foul.
The referee said foul and gave a yellow. But when we look at the footage, we see Bellingham was first to the ball.
Well, I definitely think I won the ball fairly, I think.
And our next moment also caused confusion, something the refs even apologized for after the game. Brighton versus Tottenham, and there were quite some dubious scenes. Here, this possible handball that wasn't given, and this jersey pull that wasn't punished either. But the main scene was this one.
Doesn't punch with any conviction. Mitoma.
A very clear foul. Højbjerg clearly steps on Mitoma's foot, but even when the video ref saw that, he did nothing.
There's no explanation for missing that. I can't give him one.
After the game, the Referees Association apologized and said, yeah, that should have been a penalty, which didn't help Brighton in the end either. This scene, on the other hand, is really funny. The ref whistles right next to the player, who flinches because of the volume. With our number 11 though, there were disbelieving looks again.
Mo Salah, Evans and Dalot together. Well played, Diogo Dalot.
Throw in for Liverpool, which United player Dalot complained about, and he got a yellow card. But then he got another yellow after 10 seconds because he kept complaining and had to go off with a yellow-red.
Has been sent off.
The absurd thing, 20 minutes earlier Nunes rammed his opponent in the chest and then blasted the ball away, for which he also got a yellow. But when he then complained and sarcastically clapped to the ref, there was nothing, and he was allowed to continue. And with our next moment, the referee was also very inconsistent. In 2023, Barca played Inter in the Champions League group stage.
Cross al centro, Nana, porta vuota, il pareggio.
Goal by Barcelona, but it was disallowed because the ball was slightly touched here by Fati's hand. Okay, but then in stoppage time, this scene. Here we clearly see handball by Dumfries. If you apply the same rules from the first scene, then this should clearly be a handball. But the ref said no, everything is fine. Something the Barca players couldn't understand, and even Inter coach Inzaghi seemed surprised by the decision. The fans were too with this one of the most controversial goals of the World Cup.
And surely Messi now, surely a goal!
Tevez was clearly offside here. Mexico complained, also because the goal was shown on the big screen and everyone saw the referee's mistake, but in the end it still counted. And Tevez later admitted he knew it was offside. We go to the Premier League. Arsenal were in the title race and were leading here against Brentford, but in the 74th minute...
by Norgard, Pinnock's climbing in there. Oh, it's going to be a goal!
Goal! But there were discussions. 2 players were supposedly offside. Pinnock here blocks the Arsenal player so he couldn't get to the ball, and then later offside by Norgard who plays the ball. The video assistant did check it all, but he didn't draw any offside lines, and the goal counted.
Whether you go whichever way you go, it's offside.
But our number 7 was an even crazier mistake. In Brazil, the home team shot wide of the goal, and the ball boy thought, hey, I'll put the ball into the goal. The referee then thought the previous shot had actually gone in, and the goal counted. Insane. But I'm telling you, our number 1 was also crazy and is still considered one of the most controversial referee actions at a World Cup. But first to this one, and this also is one of the most controversial moments at a World Cup game. The linesman says the ball is out, but here we see the ball was by no means completely over the line. The goal should have counted. Over the course of the game, there were quite a few dubious refereeing decisions, and Spain lost on penalties and actually went out of the tournament. And what the ref does here, also not okay. He kicks the player and was banned for 12 games. And if you have to smash something, hey, then better smash the subscribe button. Our number 4, a referee who drove the Bayern fans crazy. Second leg of the 2017 Champions League quarterfinal between Madrid and Bayern. Vidal plays the ball, but he gets his second yellow for it and is sent off. Highly questionable. It went into extra time.
Ramos. Ronaldo!
Goal by Ronaldo, but we see it was offside and it still counted. And only 4 minutes later,
Marcelo all the way. That's terrific. That's Ronaldo.
Offside again. And this goal also stood. And now our top 3, and this moment has to be in there.
Oh, looking for room. Lampard! Did it go in?
Lampard with a shot in the World Cup round of 16 against Germany. The ball was clearly behind the line, but still didn't count.
I don't quite know you get that one wrong. I mean, I saw it from taking the shot. The referee was not far away from me. No, that's the way it was.
And our number 2 was crazy as well and is still hotly debated today. Champions League semi-final between Liverpool and Chelsea.
Get them before check. Is that a penalty? Luis Garcia is in there. Does that cross the line? The Liverpool fans think it has.
Liverpool's Garcia celebrates, but everyone says, hey, the ball wasn't over the line. Still hard to say today. Sky tried to recreate it with the camera images, and here we see it looks as if the ball wasn't in goal.
Because to give a goal must be 100% the ball in, and he must be 100% sure that the ball is in.
But above all, a comment from the referee caused confusion years later. He said he gave the goal because otherwise he would have had to give a penalty and a possible red card for the foul here. And maybe he just didn't want to do that. We could have picked so many other moments, like the referee performance in the Champions League semi-final between Chelsea and Barcelona. But we already talked about that in our video of the biggest referee mistakes. That's why our number 1 pick is a moment you've never seen in any of our videos before. World Cup 1978, Brazil versus Sweden. There was a corner in stoppage time. The ref blew the whistle and ended the game just as Zico headed it, and the goal didn't count. I mean, why not just wait for 2 seconds? And if you always wondered how good are Messi's sons, then watch this video.